Hey guys, listen to this. You've got to hear this. You think you experience the real world, but you don't. You don't experience anything real. It's totally amazing. You have to check this out. Go to minddimension.com and see what's on the site, and just believe me, it's going to blow your mind. I thought my entire life, just as you do, that I walk around experiencing the real world. I mean, everybody does. It sounds crazy. How can you not experience the real world? Everything is real, right? Well, just believe me, it's not. You are going to be completely blown away. Go to minddimension.com. You don't experience the real world at all. You don't even experience the world. What you experience is a virtual reality world created by your own brain. It's absolutely amazing, and I know this sounds completely crazy. It's all contained in this book, Mind Dimension. Or go to minddimension.com, where everything's in there. It's all explained. Okay, right now, I'm holding this book. I can feel it in my hands. This feels real and solid. It's as real as anything can be. And yet, I'm not actually experiencing this real book. I'm not even experiencing my real body. I'm experiencing a virtual reality recreation of this book and of my own body. When you feel your body in a chair, you think you're feeling your body. You're sitting there. How can I not feel my own body? What you're feeling is the summation of all your nerves sending the information to your own brain, which is then recreating the sensation of you in a body holding a book in your mind dimension. So it's all explained perfectly clearly in the book, Mind Dimension. Go to minddimension.com. The world that you see and touch and feel and taste and feel things is not the real world. It's a virtual reality world created by your own brain. It's manifested by your brain, and you experience it as being the real world, but it is not the real world. In fact, it's not even the world. Yes, there is a real world, but you don't experience it. You experience in a sense, a recreation of that world by your own brain-mind system, which emanates from your brain and envelops you in a virtual reality world, and that's the world that you actually experience. What we experience, you think you experience, but the key is that what you experience is a virtual reality recreation of the world in your mind, in your own mind. It's absolutely amazing. It's all in your own brain. Your brain is creating your own reality. Everybody's brain individually is doing it, and we're all doing it collectively. We all believe and think that we experience the real world. All our lives, we've walked around thinking this is real. You can pick up a book, you can touch an object. This is real. How can it not be real? Trust me, you don't experience the real world. You don't even experience the world at all. That's the part that's going to completely blow you away. Once you read this, you can read it in the Mind Dimension, the book. Go to minddimension.com, and you will be completely, absolutely amazed at what you think is real and what you thought is real. Everything will be explained, but it's absolutely the most amazing thing. And of course, this sounds crazy, right? But it's not crazy. The crazy thing is that this is the nature of reality and that we've lived with our entire lives, and we had no idea. We didn't even suspect that all this was going on. That you're walking around like in Star Trek, the holodeck. You're carrying around your own virtual reality creator with you individually in your own brain that creates your own virtual reality. You're creating your own virtual reality as you walk around. What's amazing is that each of our brains is doing this all individually, and that we think we're seeing one collective reality, and yet everybody's walking around creating their own reality. And the amazing thing is that they are similar enough to where nobody notices that everybody's creating their own individual reality, and yet we think we're experiencing the outside world coming at us, and yet we're creating our own world in our own head. What we experience in the mind dimension, it feels like reality to us. There is the real world. There is real light. There's real physical matter. There is a physical planet that we're on. So I can understand what you're thinking. You might say, well, if I don't experience light, what am I seeing? How can I look around? I mean, I'm looking at things. How can I be looking at something and not experience light? Well, what you're experiencing is a recreation in your own brain. Sure, there is real light, there's real physical electromagnetic waves, and they come into your eye, but they stimulate your retina. At that point, all, in a sense, direct physical manipulation with the outside world has ended. Your retina then creates an electrical signal, an electrochemical signal, and that travels up your optic nerve into your brain. At that point, you're not, real light doesn't go into your eye and then slide down your optic nerve and then flood into your brain to create this real image that you see. The image you see in your mind, when you look around, is a recreation, a virtual reality recreation of what was happening outside of you. But it's all being created for the first time in your own brain, projected out so that you experience it as what you sense as being reality. It's a virtual reality recreation in your brain. It's all in the mind dimension. What we are experiencing is a virtual reality recreation of a world that is being manifested in our brains, in our human brain mind system, to appear to us as a real outside world. And yet it's being created inside your own. You don't experience the real world. In fact, you don't experience the world at all. It sounds totally bizarre, but it's true. You don't experience anything like you thought you did. When you look at the sky, at night especially, I like astronomy. I'm an amateur astronomer. I look at the stars, I look at the moon, the sky. It's beautiful. When you see that light coming from stars and the moon, and I'm looking at the sky thinking, wow, what a beautiful scene. You have to realize that's all being recreated in my mind, in my skull, actually inside your head. Your brain is creating your reality. The real light, of course, is coming from real stars and going into my eye and hitting my retina. But then at my retina, it's sending a neuroelectrical signal to my brain. My brain then takes that signal, decodes it, processes it, and then creates the output of the experience of me seeing the stars in the sky. All that's happening inside my skull, in my own brain. Of course you think you experience real light when you look around and you look at things. What else could it be other than real light? You see it with your eyes and it's bright and it's light. Well, what you are actually experiencing, see, the key word is experience. What you experience as light, as the visual image, is happening inside your brain. Inside the real light is coming into your eye and then hitting your retina. But the real light stops at your retina. Then from your retina travels an electrochemical signal down your optic nerve into your brain. And then your brain processes that information. That's not light the brain is getting. The light has stopped at your retina. The brain is now getting an electrochemical signal from your own body that then it processes and then presents that as an image to you. And that's what is you don't experience the real world. In fact, you don't experience the world at all. It sounds totally bizarre, but it's true. You don't experience anything like you thought you did.